Hey, welcome back to episode 2 of Model Mania. I'm your host, Brandy Thomas, and this week we have a very interesting subject that we're going to talk about that every model and photographer should know what this means, when to use it, all that good stuff. First of all, happy Monday to you guys. It is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Woohoo! I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I'm going to say that I am 21 years old, so wish me a happy birthday in the comments. I might give somebody a birthday gift if you want to, wish me happy birthday below. We'll see how many we get, and I might give away some free stuff. Who knows? All right, so this week, guys, we are going to talk about a very important subject. It is called TFP. I'm going to get into what it means, but the reason I want to talk about it so early on in the game with the show is when you're a photographer or a model and you're brand new, usually TFP is very important to the beginning of your career and building a portfolio, etc. TFP means trade for print. The reason I want to talk about it this week is over the last week, of course, as a photographer myself, I am in some discussion groups and some growth photography groups and modeling groups and things like that on social media. And I have seen lots of discussion around this subject. And it seems like lots of photographers are very, very confused as far as what TFP is, what they're getting out of it, what the models should be getting out of it, so on and so forth. So with a photographer, of course, in order for people to see your work and to see what you can do, you have to have something to show them. And of course, as a photographer, brand new, most of the time, or at least you should be, putting and investing your money into the equipment and into, building that network. But TFP is going to be very important to building your portfolio because you will be able to trade. All right, trade for print or trade for pictures in this new digital age. You're going to be able to trade your time, your talent, your work, your skills, all that for a nice image or images to add to your portfolio so that in turn you get more business. Now, here's where so many photographers, I think, lose sight of TFP and truly what it is the models are putting in just as much work and just as much time as you, the photographer, are. So when you're talking about a photo shoot, I know for me, I am very detailed, very meticulous about makeup, what you're wearing, contacts. If we're, for instance, today I'm going to show you guys some stuff and she's got in some color contacts, and those are all things that had to be purchased and were special to this shoot that maybe the model just didn't have lying around. It's always fantastic if your model is like a fashionista and has just thousands of dollars worth of clothing and makeup and accessories laying around. But let's be real and honest. Most models, and especially new models, just don't. So they have to go and spend money just like you do for the items in order to fulfill your vision. So, of course, they should be getting, something for it. So, of course, the TFP is the trade of both of your resources, money, time, education, things that you've put into getting, thus far in your career. So one thing that I feel like I saw in these discussion groups this week was a lot of photographers, and maybe they just have not been introduced to the actual modeling world, and girls who are trying to make this a career and try to get paid to actually to model. So I saw one, for example, and of course I'm not naming names here or calling anyone out by any means. These groups are worldwide, so these are photographers from all over the world. But someone posted in one of these groups, and she asked a simple question, and the question was, put out a model call, which a model call is, for a photographer, you put out this call, hey, I need this type of look, right? This is the shoot. This is what we're going to do. This is, the theme or whatever. I need someone that can fill all of those obligations to shoot with. Okay, so that's a model call. She said, I put out a model call, and of course, I'm not going to use this person because of this reply, but how should I nicely tell her that I don't want to use her? Now, the model's response to the photographer was, thank you for sending me over your model release. I am going to have to sit down and review it before I can agree or disagree. Of course, I agree to any promotional and marketing uses for the photos, portfolio-wise. However, if the photos were to generate a monetary value all on their own, of course, I would want to cut. Wow. The comments from some of the photographers in that group really shocked me. I don't know about you guys, and I mean, voice your opinions in the comments here, but I felt like the model did exactly what she was supposed to do and asked exactly the perfect question and responded precise. She was professional, she was honest, she was open, and she just voiced her concerns about, if this happens, I would like to get my portion. I mean, she's putting in the work too. So some of the responses, right, just to give you some idea about what things were said. I saw one that says, gosh, this is not Friends. You're not going to be getting residual checks every week. Or who does she think she is? Cindy Crawford? And gosh, it's awfully entitled she thinks she is. And, you know, et cetera, et cetera. This is not Vogue. This is not this, you know, just really cutting down, you know, what this model had asked. And so that is a lot of the reason I feel like this is very important that I'm talking about this now, is because the models are putting in so much work too. And if they are truly serious about making this a career, it doesn't matter if they're shooting with a small town photographer in nowhere, USA, maybe they are trying to get to Vogue. Right? Maybe that's their ultimate goal. So I think that photographers just need to understand that a little bit more. So that's why we're talking about TFP today and what it is, and when it's appropriate to use, when should, you know, because obviously you all want to make money in your craft. And so when is it acceptable to ask a model to do a TFP session with you, and when is it acceptable, and when should you be paying a model, or when should a model be paying you? So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit here. So this segment today is pretty special though, guys, specifically because we're talking about TFP. Here shortly, after a couple of breaks, we are going to go behind the scenes with Miss Katie Baize. She has a birthday coming up in about a week, and she came to me and asked me to do her birthday photos. Now, my first question to Katie, because she came to me asking me to do them, I said, do I get to be creative, or is it like your idea? It's something that you want me to fulfill for you. And of course, she gave me free creative reign. So without spilling the beans too much, I'm gonna just give you guys a simple little term, candy. And then you guys will see later what we're gonna do. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? About TFP. When's acceptable to do a TFP session with a photographer? When should you be charging? And then, of course, how do you set your rates on both ends of the board? TFP is acceptable when and if both parties are getting and gaining something from giving their time away for free. So what I mean by that is, if you message a photographer with an idea and they say, oh my gosh, that's great, I would love to add those photos to my portfolio, then of course, you know, you're both collabing on the shoot and putting your creative sensibilities and creative minds to work together to make it one huge collaboration for you both. So that is acceptable, right? However, if a model hits you up and says, hey, I love your work, I want to shoot with you so bad, then of course at that point they are wanting to shoot with you because of the work that you provide, that you can provide to them specifically. They're not coming to you with an idea or you know, collaboration of sorts. They're coming to you because they feel like your work is good enough to add to their portfolio, right? So that in that case, it's safe to say that you should send that model your rates, whatever that may be. Personally, as a photographer, I have rates for, let's say, certain sessions and certain things that I do. So if they just want headshots or if they want to get creative, the price, range is going to vary. So, and then of course, model releases, right, are a big thing. When you talk about TFP, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face. We can talk about all the details. We can talk about the fact that you said I'm going to get every single picture, or that's what I thought you said, when in turn you just said I was going to get 10 edited pictures. So always make sure that anytime you do a TFP session or any session in general, photography and model wise, that you are putting it in writing and getting an agreement from the photographer, from the model, so that when the time comes and let's say someone, may not be happy or may not like something that happened, then you have an agreement and that agreement is signed by both of you. There can be no going back on things, et cetera, et cetera. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk about what is acceptable to give to a model. How many images should you give to a model? Should you edit them all? Should a model expect images right away from you for a TFP session? We're just going to talk etiquette. We're going to talk about our session today. And I think if Katie is in the house, I know she was getting her makeup done. So if she is in the house already, we're going to bring her on set and also talk to her about her birthday session and about what TFP is. Does she do it? What is her experience doing TFP sessions? So we will talk about that when we come right back. But until then, check out some of our sponsors and some of the other great shows right here on Artists United Network.
Could never forget salt of love and regret, but I didn't want to stop. Na na na
Hey, we are back from commercial break. I hope you guys had joys watching all of our sponsors and all of the other great shows right here on Artists United Network. We are coming to you on my actual birthday. Woo woo! We are here at Soulful Illusion Studios, and of course, Miss Katie Baize is here with us. Katie was, of course, our first guest on our first episode, and coincidentally, we did not plan this and do this on purpose, but coincidentally, she is our guest on our second show, specifically because we are going to do her birthday photo shoot today, and you guys are going to get to see behind the scenes of that shoot. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
too.
These birthday pictures might top last year's birthday pictures for sure.
For sure. Oh my gosh, yes. But hey, you know what? I feel like it's like what do they say? To women as they get older, they say it's like a fine wine. It just as you age, it gets better. So every year they should be better. Next year's pictures should be better than this year's pictures. It's gonna be pretty hard to top this year's pictures, though.
Better start planning now.
Oof, I agree. So. How much do you think that we spent on candy? Because I'm not going to tell you guys what we're doing yet, but I'm going to tell you how much we think we've spent on candy.
We're probably at a total of easily easily $200.
Yeah, I think we're probably like $250.
Yeah.
Okay,
Probably closer
so
to 3 than 2.
yeah, so I'm gonna leave you guys guessing. All right, as far as what we're gonna do, but that's all you're gonna get from us. Okay, as far as the shoot goes today.
Let's just
now,
say it's colorful.
very colorful. You can't see for our makeup. By the way, I just want to, of course, we talked about this last week, that what a great asset. Hang on. I'm going to give Rena Phoenix a shout out for my shirt. Okay. An asset, what an asset is. What an asset Katie is to any set, to any photographer who wants to, whether they hire her or do TFP with her, because she also does her own makeup. And she did this all by herself. Great. I think it looks great. Now, the contacts, of course, came from me. We had cosmetic color contacts. Let's talk about a little about the contacts.
So I already am blind, so I have to wear normal contacts. But I have an astigmatism, so they're weighted contacts to keep them in focus. So these cosmetic ones are very, very thin and flimsy, so it's easy to pop over your prescribed contacts. Until your prescribed contact can't blink back into focus.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now everything's blurry.
So now she's like, we're going to guide her to wherever she needs to walk, because she's wearing these amazing shoes that you can't see, but you will get to see here shortly. So yeah, Katie is a great asset for that specific reason, that she comes as her own makeup artist. And when I say that you can request just about anything you want from Katie makeup wise, and she can probably achieve it. I don't want to like,
even if I've never done it before, because there's been times where I've never done a makeup look before, and you asked me to do something, and I was like, I'm going to try this. Oh my God, it worked.
Yeah, for sure. Our last shoot, she was almost in tears, I think, with the red. You're like, I hate it. It turned out great. One of the best ever.
Because it wasn't working out for me, and I was getting so upset with myself.
So let's talk a little bit about makeup, okay? Because right now, of course, on this episode, we are talking specifically about TFP. As a model and photographer, what it means, when it's acceptable to...
Did you tell them what TFP stands for?
Do TFP, so I did, yes. Now, normally, like back in the day, it was trade for print, you know, because everything was printed and magazines, everything was printed. And now, of course, everything is digital. So
now I just make
trade for
photo
pictures or trade for photos or all that good stuff. Yes. So of course, like we said, the definition of TFP, it basically is when two parties, model and photographer, are both collabing and gaining something from the photo shoot that they will be able to utilize in marketing or portfolio purposes. Now, Katie, when you first started out, was the TFP, did you learn it really quick? Was it something that someone told you about? Did you automatically know what TFP was?
So I originally was doing TFPs before I even knew what a TFP was.
Okay, all right.
Just because the person I'd been shooting with. But then they explained to me what a TFP was, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. So then all of my shoots were TFP.
Okay.
Because I thought, like, that was just the normal doing those types of things. And I found out that it's normal, but like that's not your career.
Right, exactly. Yes. Now, you know, you talk about getting up into the big time, and you're trading photos with, you know, career and worldwide photographers, then that definitely becomes part of your career.
Yeah.
But you're not always going to be doing that stuff just for the pictures. So explain to me, how long did you just do TFP when you first started?
At least the full first year.
Really? Okay. All right.
I think I want to say probably come June is when I stopped doing like only TFP, because that's when I quit my day job and went full-time modeling.
Okay,
so I kind of, if you're going to quit your day job and go full-time modeling, you can't do TFPs only.
Very true. That's very true. Yes.
Sorry, but TFP's not going to pay my bills.
So when you would do a TFP session, did you ever feel like the photographer felt like they were providing you more of a service than you were providing to them?
Yeah.
A lot?
Not a lot, but it has happened sometimes. So like I'll message them and I'm like, hey, still haven't gotten my pictures back. Like, what's going on? And they're like, well, it takes me forever to edit these. And I'm like, well, it took me forever to do my makeup and my hair and get my clothes on and come see you. And it's been 3 months.
Ugh, yeah, very true. Now, I will say, as a photographer who, because I know some photographers out there are solely model based, right? And that's all they shoot is models, whether it be group shoots or you know, TFP shoots. Some of them may even pay models, etc. But for someone like me, I take on a different niche, and you know, high school seniors and maternity, and so I do paid clients outside of that. So I know that when I take on a TFP session, for me, it better be incredibly worth my time, right? Because I am taking away a day that I could have potentially booked a paid client, right, to do something that that I'm both investing time and money into to get something out of. So I know that when I take on a TFP session, and I know that you and I have a very clear, of course, you know, our agreement is very clear that I provide you with how many images per shoot. Edited, fully retouched,
minimum
head to toe.
5 always.
Yeah. So,
and you'll normally get bored and you'll go edit a couple lectures and be
and
like,
I always
"Here you
try
go."
to get her at least 2 to 3 within the first 24 to 48 hours, right? Something that she can show and have feasible in her hands. And then, of course, with the TFP session, I get, you know, this minimal amount. And so this is me telling you photographers, don't promise models that you're going to give them hundreds of photos, right? Make it a very, you know, small amount of photos, but really put in your all to those 5 photos, because I promise you, when I go to look at a model's portfolio, if I see 100 of the same set in her thing, I'm doing nothing but this, trying to get to another outfit or another set or another scene. And so I just need to see a couple, right? From
and
that
coming
set.
from a model, honestly, don't send me 100 pictures, because now I have to sit there and try to figure out what 3 do I want to use for my, because my Instagram, I post in 3s. Everything's in 3s. So I tell any photographer, if we shoot minimum, you have to give me 3 pictures
minimum
back.
3 pictures, yeah.
You can give more, but you have to give minimum 3 because of my 3 series.
Did you before you got, you know, to this point, when you did TFP, did you request more photos back when you first started?
It was never me requesting them because I didn't understand it.
Okay.
But the photographer who I first started out with doing TFPs would send me my entire set.
Okay.
That is very overwhelming trying to pick which one I want.
Tell me what you didn't understand about it. Tell me what, and be honest, like what confused you? Maybe what do you feel like us as photographers who were around you?
So because of how it first started, when I was doing those shoots, I was getting my full set back and picking out which ones I wanted, and then he would edit them. I went to go shoot with another photographer, and they sent me like 5 images, and I was like, where are my pictures? So, like, I looked like this whole big, bratty, where are all my pictures? Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't remember what it was that finally taught me. It was months later that finally taught me, like, hey, you're only supposed to get a few.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Yeah. Whereas, like, if I pay the photographer for a shoot, I'll be getting back a decent amount of pictures.
Right, for sure, absolutely. And so that's one thing too that I think some models get very confused on. So I had a model who I had a concept for, and of course I reached out to her specifically because she had the look I was looking for, and I want to pay her for her services. So that means that she is rendering her look, her you know, her image, her makeup, doing, you know, everything. I am paying her a monetary amount of money, which means that technically I don't have to send her any images.
No. If a photographer
models, does that hurt to hear?
It hurts to hear, because like, wow, I just put all this time into my makeup and energy, but at the end of the day, I have money that's going to go pay my bills.
Very true.
Let me go pay my bills real quick.
And ultimately, that's where you want to be at, is where you feel like you have this off the charts unique look that people want to pay you.
Honestly, I would feel special that like I'm being like buying my images for you to go do whatever with, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I think that your image, the one of the crown, I literally could see it like in Times Square on one of the big like billboards. And so Katie, the whole thing that sparked this conversation this week about TFP was specifically some photography groups that I'm in. I've just been seeing lots of photographers who are so confused about what TFP is and when you should offer it and when it's good for you and when it's not good for you. Tell me, when did you get to a point, and did you or have you gotten to a point where you are selective about who?
I am very selective now with my TFPs. So my time is very valuable now. I am working a lot with my job and then also still trying to do modeling. And now I am living in the city, so I'm not traveling to Springfield anymore, but if you're, not to sound like conceited or entitled, but if your work isn't to par with my work, you should be paying me to want to do a shoot with me because I can't use those images.
Yes, you led me right into what I was about to say.
So if a photographer's like, props to all photographers. I'm not shitting on a single photographer, but sometimes I'm now at a more professional level with my images.
That's okay to say. That's okay to say that.
It doesn't work with those images. So even if I did the shoot with you, I can't use those images except for maybe on Facebook.
Yep.
And that's not a good enough of a trade.
Yeah.
That's not valuable enough.
It's not valuable. I understand. So okay, that's a good word. Yeah.
Big thing with TFPs, if you are doing a TFP, your work is equivalent to the photographer's.
Yes.
Like you guys are equals.
She's just about to start hosting the show for me because she literally said what I was going to say.
Sorry, Ma.
No, you're good. So literally that's exactly what I was leading into is the fact that as you grow and learn, then the photographers that you're shooting with, they're either growing and learning with you and you guys can continue to shoot together, or they're not and you're kind of moving on to other photographers. Now, this is me also telling photographers, if you like these girls and you want to keep shooting with them and have the opportunity to be able to do a TFP session with them, then study your craft and stay up to date with trends. And we talked a little bit about this today with the birthday shoot that Katie says she's tired of doing boring stuff. So her and I have done some pretty creative stuff here lately. And I think that's what it's all about, is growing, learning, being creative, and being a little outside the box, which leads us to our next segment. When we come back, we are going to be behind the scenes with Katie's birthday shoot. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the light setup, a little bit about what we had to go through and what we had to do to make this shoot happen. And then, of course, we're going to start birthday shooting. Are you excited?
My birthday's Friday,
yes.
the 26th. I'm so excited.
How old will you? Oh, wait, hang on. I'm not going to ask you that. That's rude. I wouldn't ask. I'm not going to ask you that.
I'm turning 22.
Yeah, well, see, I'm turning 21, so I'm younger than you are.
Yeah. So. She's my sister, don't you know?
All right,
my younger
guys,
sister.
Stay tuned. Make sure that you check out our sponsors coming up. And, of course, all the other great shows right here on Artists United Network. We will be right back.
One artist vision united. The Artists United Network. Innovative live streaming on demand media platforms available at your fingertips. The Artists United Network, producing weekly shows, podcasts, how-to tutorials, and informational programs. Pitch us your idea. Take part. You have the vision. We have the tools. Let us help you take it to the next level. Your dream begins here.
Hey, it's Brandy. All right, we are back right here on Artists United Network. We are coming to you with Model Mania on Monday, the 22nd, my birthday. Woo-hoo. Happy birthday to me. Coincidentally, I'm actually doing a birthday photo shoot for Miss Katie Baize. Her birthday is next weekend. So we are behind the scenes right now. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about our setup and what we had to go through to make sure that we filled this bathtub with the candy that you are about to see. First of all, let me just say that this candy is almost scarce at every store that you try to buy it at. We literally had to go and buy it in bulk finally. So thank the Lord for my assistant, Miss Kayla, because she rescued us tonight and brought us some Skittles. Even then, it was not enough. Okay, so for Katie's birthday shoot, the big number 22, we decided to fill our bathtub with Skittles.
22 pounds of them.
Yeah, so literally, let's see, I have nine of these big containers full, and then we also had about 150 of the small share sizes, which is already in the tub right now. So even then, it wasn't enough to fill the bathtub all the way up. So we have improvised. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our set. We literally just did this on the fly. This was not the plan, but we wanted to make sure that it looked like the whole tub was full of Skittles, not just her sinking down in a tub with like Skittles in the bottom. So, with that being said, let's talk about a little bit about the setup, okay? So, obviously, this is a clawfoot tub, antique clawfoot tub. Very, very heavy, very sturdy. You can see here that we have taped a sheet around the edges. So inside the bathtub, there are 2 footstools that have cushions on them so that she can sit comfortably. And then we have pillows shoved in both ends just to make it a little comfortable for her to sit. And then of course we placed the sheet over all of that, and then we've just taped it down on all corners, so that way when we put the Skittles in, they don't sink to the bottom of the bathtub. It will just fill right on top of the sheet, and of course, therefore giving the illusion that the entire bathtub is full of Skittles. Katie, what are you gonna do with this candy once we're done?
I'm gonna take it all home, and I'm just gonna slowly eat it for the next 2 years.
Yeah. Literally, we just filled the whole trash bag full when we took it out and redid it. So she's gonna have Skittles to share with everybody. As long as you don't mind her beautiful legs being on them, you can share with her.
So. I promise I showered.
Okay, so as far as this shoot goes, the creativity behind it, like I said, Katie and I have been getting very creative with some of our shoots, right? And when she messaged me about her birthday shoot, my question was, can I be creative? Can I like take creative reins? And she said, yes, of course. Tell me, why do you trust me when I ask you that question?
You've been a photographer for a very long time, and I've definitely seen some of your shoots, and you always come up with the most creative but still cute concepts. Mm-hmm. So I always know that they're going to be amazing. And after that last shoot, the blood one, I'll trust you with anything.
She's gonna let me do anything I want. Woo! That is a good feeling to have as a photographer. And of course, that for me, I appreciate that you feel that way about me.
I don't know how AG do that.
Right, I know. AG said the other day that he feels like I'm now your favorite. So we might have to shoot with AG a little bit to make him feel
I'm shot with him more than you.
No, I know. That's what I told him. I said, she's shot with you way more than me. All right, so of course, Mr. AG Shaw is our in-house studio photo manager. He also does all of our photography education. And he is, of course, a huge mentor of mine. I've learned lots and lots from that guy. So I'm not taking away from anything that he's doing. Trust me when I say that.
His classes are amazing.
And he is like a lighting guru. So I really look up to that guy. And these types of things and knowing where to put my light and what to do, he is, the inspiration and the mentor behind all of that. So if you need to take photography classes and you want to learn studio lighting and you want to be able to do stuff like this, go to our page, Soulful Illusion Studios, and you can see our next class is going to be the December the 2nd. We're going to teach you how to get out of auto mode and into manual on your camera so you can start taking control of the light and the settings and what you do.
And there's always a live model.
That's true. Yes, we always have models there. Okay, so let's talk about our light setup here really super quick, and then I'm going to do a couple shots, and then we will be done. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. So, first things first, let's dump all the Skittles in here. Okay, this might take a second, so bear with us. Get in trouble for saying Skittles.
I don't think so.
You're not going to shut me down, are you?
Skittles, if you couldn't shut us down, I'm going to fight you. It's my birthday shoot.
We would love to send these images to...
Who knows? Maybe Skittles will end up fighting and send us more Skittles.
Or maybe we'll send it to them and see if they want to buy the image and put it on something.
Yes.
Or we'll just give it to them for free. You never know. Of course, this session with Katie and I is a TFP session, and the reason being, since we're talking about TFP today, is because this is adding not only to Katie's portfolio, right, because she's going to be able to share these images and use them to show people just a little bit different, obviously a way different creative side of hers. And of course, I will be able to do the same thing. So we are both getting something out of the shoot today, and it is definitely worth all of our while. So
it's definitely quite rare that you can turn a birthday shoot into a TFP.
Right!
But it's because this isn't your normal birthday shoot.
We want to try to get some up here too, so we make sure that they're all over.
Just casually covered myself in Skittles on a Monday. What'd you do for your Monday? Bathed in Skittles.
Bathed in Skittles. Okay. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe. Alright, yours and then one more. Miss Katie, where do you go?
God, it's like these are childproof.
Now, I will say,
that's a lot of money
are interested in doing a TFP shoot with a photographer, I will say that you need to be brave enough to ask, right? So make sure that you're asking all the right questions, and the only thing they're going to do, right, is tell you no or send you their rates, and that's okay. As a new model, when you get started, TFP is going to be your baby. I mean, it's going to be something that you do all the time. I will say that when you start out, you're probably not going to get TFP sessions like this one specifically, because this took a lot of time and effort and money. Of course, all this costs a lot of money. So you're not going to get that right up front. But as you put in the work and learn your craft, learn to do your makeup, learn to bring extra things to the photo shoot that maybe the model beside you does not have, and then of course you'll get more opportunities like that. So let me grab my camera. We're gonna take a couple shoots. I take a couple of pictures. I'll show you where the light's set up, and then we will be out, guys. Okay. All right. So I am just a one light girl. Okay. Of course, I shoot with Canon. The lens I have right now is a 24-105, and I just shoot with one light. So the dish that I use is a 64-inch deep dish umbrella, and so the reason I only shoot with one light is specifically because this umbrella is so big that I don't even really have to have my lights and my strobe up on a very high power, and I get such a great, nice, soft spread of light all over my subject, and shadows are killed. I mean, it's a really, really great umbrella. I highly recommend it.
I love that I have a snack while I'm shooting.
So of course we want to light Katie from here. What's cool is that we're in the cyclorama, the white cyclorama photo pit. And of course, no matter what angle we're going to shoot at, we're going to have that white photo backdrop, which is great. Walls are, the corners are rounded, the bottoms are filled in, so it just makes it look like an infinite amount of space. We're going to light Katie, of course, from this side. And the first things first, I'm going to take I want you to scooch down into that tub just a little bit more, though. I don't want you laying, though. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There we go. All right, perfect.
What else have it on?
Oh gosh, might help with my light. Alright, let's see here. Alright.
Good thing I'm tall.
Well, and I was about to say that it really helps that she is so tall for this photo, because she's able to drape her legs over the edge. Of course, I have some really cool, colorful skates. I don't know that we'll have time to show her in those modeling, but we're going to add some accessories and make this very fun, and then you guys will get to see a picture once we end the show here, of course. Bring your elbows in just a little bit. You look a little bulky. There you go. Relax. Okay, all right. So I'm at 1/16 power here. As far as my camera settings go, guys, let's see here. I'm at 1/160 f5.6, and my ISO is at 100 always when I do studio lighting. And she's a little blown out, obviously, because we're in a white area here. You're getting lots of reflection and lots of bounce back of light. So I'm going to turn my setting a little bit lower as far as the power of the light goes. So I'm probably going to go to 132. Very good. All right, I'm going to have you lean down all the way down, where you can get your head right down into here. All right, we'll take one more photo, guys, and then I will let you guys go and enjoy it. That's kind of nice. All right, so we want it all the way up here.
First fill of the
Okay, wait, hang on. I do want to see your hair, though. Oh, sorry. Did I scratch you?
No.
Okay. Okay, lean up again.
Skittle in my ear.
There's one. Hey, okay, very good. Okay. Let's get this skittle out of your ear. I want to see your earrings. I can't get over your giggle. Oh, that's funny. Never done anything like this before, right, Mom?
The last time was with popcorn when I shot with Belle Emile.
Ah.
So what we did is we took a cardboard box and we made like
a little thing.
Yeah,
And then
to
I
stick
laid
your head
down,
in. Yeah.
And we bought a bunch of popcorn, and she just poured popcorn all over me. So the whole time we're shooting, I just keep casually
Eating popcorn? I've seen you doing that. She's been doing that with Skittles since we've been doing this.
This is
She's
like-
been putting them in her mouth.
I love food shoots.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you chin down just a little bit, okay? I'm gonna move my light here so that I am pretty much right above her.
Oddly enough, Skittles are comfortable.
Are they comfortable to lay on? Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, so I'm angling my umbrella and my light so that it literally is almost like an umbrella over her, and it's creating this amazing light that's just gonna smother her. It's a nice soft light. I'm even gonna bump it down just another like 0.3 more, so that way I make sure she's not too bright. All right, so we're catching a line right here. You're like, okay, you got this chin. Okay, so try to duck out your. Okay, so what I'm trying to have her do is, we call it the turtle. Okay, so girls, of course, like me, you have this mom chin, right? You call this like little turkey goblin thing. Every female has it. I don't care what size you are.
Everyone.
If you are small, big, little bitty, in between, you're gonna have it if you put your head or your face a certain way. I'm sure the camera angle is great right now when I'm showing you, but we want to try to avoid that in photos. So when she's looking down, we were getting a lot of that. And of course, I'm shooting from above her, so it makes it even worse whenever she looks down. So what I want her to do is push her head almost like forward. You like clucking like a chicken, right? So you like push it forward. We call it the turtle because turtles peek their heads out and kind of look around. So that's what you're going to try to do. And that avoids you from doing this, but avoids you from doing this and losing all your features. And you kind of still have that nice, great neckline right here, okay? So a little too much. Come down just a hair with your chin. This way. Come. All right. Perfect. And I'm literally going to shoot directly from above her, where I'm only going to be about here up, okay? I may have to get a ladder. Yep, I'm gonna have to get a ladder. That's okay, I'm not gonna make you guys wait. Just stay tuned, all right? You're gonna see the images at the end of the show here. Thank you for joining us for episode 2 of Monday Model Mania. Wish me a happy birthday in the comments below, guys. Like I said, if I get 100 comments, then I will buy everybody a cup of coffee that makes a comment to me, happy birthday, all right? You'll have to come to the studio to get it, but I will make you or buy you a cup of coffee. If you wish me a happy birthday, it's so easy to do. 100 people have to do it. All right, thank you very much. We're gonna continue to shoot with Katie. Make sure that you check out all the other amazing shows right here on Artists United Network, and stay tuned for next week's episode of Monday Model Mania. We're gonna have some great guests, and we're gonna talk a little bit about fashion and makeup. Have a great day, guys. Peace and love.